Very good evening to everybody, and thank you so much for your patience while waiting for the Sri Lankan press conference to end. Welcome to this press conference with Proteas coach Bob Culture. As usual, I'd like to just ask everybody to put their requests for a question on the chat panel. Please limit your questions to one person each because we really are pressed for time. As we speak, that you're already ready, please go ahead.
Hi, Mark. What has impressed you most about Keshav's captaincy in these 5 matches that he's been in charge?
What has interested me or
impressed you?
Impressed me. Sorry. Look, it was sort of expected from Kesh. It's not his first roadshow he's been around, especially in conditions like this before. He knows he's got a great feel for the game, especially when you're playing a lot of spinners. So we're expecting to be like this. I just think the communication and the confidence and trust he has in the spinners. There would have been a lot of other captains in maybe 1 or 2 of the games where I think it was the first game where he bowled Aiden in the power play. Aiden went for a few runs and he's still brave enough to bring him back towards the end. And that confidence that he showed in Aiden Aiden fed off it and produced the goods. So I just think that he's just got a good feel for the game, and also the way that he dealt with especially his spinners and the players was great, and it shows that he's got great leadership within our unit as well, which stands in good stead going forward, especially in spinning conditions.
Morgan and then Telford.
Hi, Mark. Congrats with the series clean sweep. What are you making of Quinny's form of the bat of late? It worked out last 10 innings, 455 runs at an average of just close to 57. So you must be happy that heading into a World Cup in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, very much so. Quinny's been in great form. We obviously went through a bit of a tough time after Pakistan and that, but he came in. He's been fantastic in the team environment. We all know the player that Quinny is. So you can't keep a player like that down for too long. I think he's in a very happy space at the moment. I'm happy that we obviously missed him in the one-day setup, but I'm happy that we gave him a little bit of time off after the 100. To rest up a little bit, spend a bit of time playing golf or whatever he does. And then came in and he rewarded us with that break as well. So he's a big name going into a World Cup. So him being in the form that he is, and also good to see that he's carrying his bat through as well. A player like that could easily just go out with 30-40 runs to win the match and lose his wickets, but he's showing a lot of responsibility as well, which is fantastic. From a coach's perspective, and it's great to see him in form, and he'll be a big name for us in the World Cup.
Thanks, Alfred, and please indicate guys on the chat panel who would like to go after him.
How's about? Congratulations on the hat-trick of T20 series wins. I just wonder, a game like today, the series is won, it's done. People say, yes, you play for pride and you got the national badge on, but how do you actually get up as a team to perform as well as your guys did today in a game like this where there's not a lot on the line?
I think there were some personal goals. This team realizes that we're definitely not the finished product. So there's a lot of things that we speak about after each game. We had a very good chat yesterday with regards to where we are, the lessons we've learned sort of coming from the West Indies. And where we want to go as a team. I think they took that to heart as well. Kesh had some good words to say as well, along with a couple of other senior players. Today I think we tied the record for most wins, T20 wins by a South African team. So that was one of the sort of records that was brought out by one of the guys in the meeting. So we were playing for that, but also we understand that going into a World Cup, you've got to treat each game as importantly as the others. So this becomes a bit of a habit, being able to lift yourself up for games that maybe you expected to win. You've still got to go out there and win it, as we've seen in World Cup. So I think it's just part of the growth of the team that we're not really focused about the outcome. It's more about the process and what we're doing in the build-up to big games, and also games where maybe there's a bit of a dead rubber. I think that's just part of our learning process and where we want to get to.
Stuart?
Mark, there's been quite a bit of discussion about the balance of the team, and I know you carried 5 frontline batsmen throughout this series. Is that something that's going to be the structure now going into the World Cup, or is it a case of horses for courses? And I understand that Miller and Van der Dussen were injured at different points, but do you go horses for courses, or are you settled on that structure as far as the team is concerned?
Definitely not horses for courses. I think we have a look at the conditions. And have a look at a few combinations that we have got. We've left out under quite a few times, but he's been a fantastic bowler for us. We get to a wicket and we feel like he could be a match winner, then we must play him. We've also got a lot of spinners we can turn to now, which is great to have, especially going into the UAE. So we'll have a look at those conditions and weigh up whether we need to carry an extra all-rounder, extra batter. We have got those options. So definitely not horses for courses. More like playing the conditions, and we believe that we've got the players to be able to put out successful combinations, having a look at what conditions we're going to get.
We'll finish with Zayed. Z, you can go.
Hi, Mark. Congratulations on the series victory. Just in regards to Aiden's obviously going off to IPL, and it's in the conditions that you're going to play. What do you want him to learn there, and just also, and the other IPL guys, what do you want them to come back with from that tournament?
Yeah, look, we've spoken to the guys going off to the IPL. Obviously, they need to stay quite disciplined with the way that they are doing their work over there, and realize that we want to peak at the right time as a unit. So. We have spoken with regards to that. There are a couple of things that I've spoken to individuals that they could maybe work on, but more just about picking up any sort of bits of information about playing in those conditions. I think it's going to really get them ready for a big tournament. I'm not too sure who's going to be playing what games. We've also seen the IPL that a lot of guys get there and they don't play cricket. But I think if they manage themselves well and get some good time in the nets and get used to those facilities, it'll stand us in good stead. I think it's a great opportunity for a guy like Aiden as well. He showed that he's grown a hell of a lot in his game with his different options that he's now got. So I think this will be a great experience for him. As long as the guys, as I said, they look after themselves and make sure that they're peaking for us at the right time.
Thanks very much, everybody. We'll finish now with Mark Boucher, and we're going to start with Keshav Maharaj. Please note that Keshav's press conference is embargoed for tomorrow at 7 a.m. in South Africa, 7 a.m. South Africa time, which is 10:30 here in Sri Lanka. Can you move forward?
Sorry. Okay. All right.
Once again, if I can ask everyone to please put the request to ask a question in the chat panel, and then we'll get started. Martin from News First Sri Lanka, if you're still interested.
Yes, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clearly. Please go ahead.
All right. Keshav, it's your debut series as a captain. How was the feel of winning this particular series? That's question number one. Question number two is, from the opposite side, the way that the Sri Lankans played spin bowling prior to the series commenced, Dasun Shanaka said, if you're going to beat South Africa, we'll have to beat them through our spin bowlers. But it turned out to be the other way around, that you guys bowled spin well and also batted against Sri Lankan bowlers well. What do you make up? What kind of a perception did you have in terms of going into the matches as a captain over these statements that were made and the preparations about the Sri Lankans?
Yeah, I think obviously it's very pleasing to have won the series in the way and the manner in which we did. I think a lot of credit must go towards my teammates for making my life a little bit easier on the field in terms of managing them, and wherever I called upon, stuck their hand up. With regards to obviously the statements made, we're known to obviously come over here and struggle a bit against spin in the subcontinent, but you can see that there's been a process in terms of how we've approached spin, and there's been lengthy periods of time that the guys have been working as a unit and as a collective in working on combating spin. So we've come up with our plans, And the good and pleasing thing was the guys actually stuck to it. There were a few dismissals within our game plan, which were fine, but we still trusted in the process. It was really pleasing to see. Obviously, Sri Lanka had some world-class spinners, but, our batters found a way to obviously combat that. And, we came on the better side of things, especially in this T20 series.
Stuart, Morgan, and then Telford. Reminder, please, everyone to ask one question at a time, and then we'll circle back again.
Hi, Kesh. Congrats on the series. Just as far as this new switch that South Africa have now made, and spin being so prevalent, does it change the mindset of the spinners? Because in the past it used to be kind of just the supporting act to the quicks, and now suddenly you guys are in the primary position as spinners. Does it change the mindset, and what kind of effect has that had on confidence and outlook as far as the spin bowlers are concerned?
Yeah, I think it's very crucial for a spinner to be backed. I think, it's often that, we can bowl it over, we may go for about 10, 12 runs, but, it's important that, we give them the confidence to come back. And I think, Bjorn showed that today. Shamo's been exceptional in that, he might go for runs in his first couple of overs, but, he finds a way to come back and still go under 6 runs and over and picks up wickets. So I think it's a little bit of backing and support, and that's what spinners have needed in our country. And it's good that the coach and the selectors are starting to back spin more and see the impact that we can make in a game. I think it's a good confidence booster, and to know that you got the backing from the hierarchy within the team.
Morgan?
Hi, Kesh. Well done with the series win. Just a quick one on your captaincy. You seem to have a very aggressive approach with your captaincy. Is this something that happens on the field, or is it preconceived ideas of what you want to do in certain times of the game?
Obviously, I have my game plans and thoughts before the game, but it's more adapting on the field and trying to read conditions as soon as possible. I think, I try and identify periods in the game where we can sort of go for the kill, and, fortunately enough, the bowlers that are called upon at various stages stood up to the plate and obviously reaped the reward of that. So, from there, I like to credit my bowlers. Like I said, whenever I called upon someone, they picked up wickets or was a containing spell. So, I think that's been my approach, just trying to read situation and adapt to the conditions as quick as possible.
Telford, and then we'll close with Aditya.
How's it, Keshav? Very well done. Very well captained. You looked like you enjoyed it a great deal. But of course, you're going to have to give it back one of these days to Temba. How do you feel about that, giving it up?
Yeah, I think I was very fortunate to be given the opportunity. Temba is the man for the job right now. I'm just filling in his shoes and sort of following off where he left off. I'm sure he'll make a speedy recovery and take over the reins. He's done a sterling job so far. So, everyone's looking forward to having back within the team.
Aditya?
Very well played, Keshav. My question is that after the defeat in the third ODI, what really happened to produce the 3-0 series result?
Yeah, obviously it was a bitter pill to swallow, losing the third ODI, especially from containing the Sri Lankan team to 200 runs in a 50-over game. I think, sometimes I think the mystery got a little bit of the better of us, but, we spoke about it in depth and we wanted to make an impact. I think, the guys understood the preparation that's needed into the World Cup, and we took the opportunities. We had some of our bigger players back, which was really pleasing to see Kuni stepping up to the plate and, just showing the character and seniority that he has within the team, and just, his dominance in world cricket at the moment. And, everyone's sort of stuck their hand up in the series, which was really pleasing to see, and it's a collective effort. So I think the wounds of losing that series in the third ODI has obviously filtered out into good performances in this T20 series.
Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. Reminder once again that tonight's press conference is block vouchers, and tomorrow's press conference to be used is Keshav Maharaj at 7 a.m. South African time. Have a great evening and stay safe and keep well, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sip.
Cheers, guys.